Hi Foxes, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Brittany from Shop Foxborough on the Poshmark app, and I'm also Shop Foxborough on Instagram and Etsy. And today I have a sort of fun video for you, educational but fun. And that is that I'm going to rank the traditional Anthropologie brands from least valuable to most valuable. So I hear all the time people just like, Anthropologie doesn't sell well for me, I can't sell Anthropologie to save my life, or it doesn't sell for much. And the reason that it's not doing well for certain people is that they're not picking up the items that are desirable. So I'm going to go through and kind of give you a list, and I'll actually put this list in the comments below. I'll have it as a PDF and you can download it. So when you're sourcing, you can kind of take a look and be like, oh, maybe I don't want to pick this up. Or, just to have a list of Anthropologie brands. It doesn't have like pictures of tags or anything, but anyway, yeah, so we'll start out with the lowest average sale prices. So this is going to be within the $10 to $20 range. So if you pick up these brands, there's a very good chance that you're going to be able to sell it for about $10 to $20. Obviously, there's going to be outliers for every single brand. There's going to be pieces that are more desirable. There's going to be pieces that were just released. Maybe they're still in store. Who knows? So some of these, this is just like an average. So my least favorite brands and the brands that don't sell for a whole lot. Sparrow. This is like a knitwear brand. Few of the pieces like the sweater coats can do well, but for the most part, you're looking at about $10 to $20. Daughters of the Liberation. It's mostly pants. And I think the last pair I sold was a pair of purple ones. I loved them, but I had they were a little too low rise for me after I had my kids. And I sold them for $20. Faye. This is definitely one of the older brands. They don't do this brand anymore as far as I know. And that one I have not been able to sell for a lot. And, when I look at comps, when I look at sold items from Anthropologie, this is definitely one of those brands that's on the lower end. Puella. This is not always sold at Anthropologie, but they have a few particular like stripe and chevron tops. Some dresses that were sold, and they're like t-shirt material, and they're very soft and they're very nice, but again, not a large return on your investment. Saturday Sunday. This one, they are still making this brand. Some of the newer pieces can do really well, but for the most part, a lot of the older pieces, you're going to be looking at like $10 to $20. Paperboy. They haven't sold this brand in forever, and it was mostly shorts, and you were probably looking at about $15 or so. 1 September. This brand has a lot of really pretty pieces, a lot of really pretty prints, but again, it's just a little bit oversaturated. They've been making this brand for a really long time, so it's very easy to buy like an older piece without realizing that it's not as desirable as maybe a newer piece. They do have different iterations of their tag, so if you go and you look for the 1 September tag, try and buy the newer tag stuff, and that's at least going to be a little bit higher value than the really old stuff. There's nothing that I can think of under the 1 September brand that is like a covetable collector's piece. So, Pure and Good. This is like a more like athleisure sort of brand that they have. A lot of basics, tank tops, t-shirts, stuff like that. Lil. They haven't, I don't think they've sold Lil in quite a while. I could be wrong, but this one they sold a lot of back in like the mid 2000s, like 2009 to 2014-ish. And again, I just haven't found that the pieces under that line were exceptional, and they don't fetch a whole lot of money for me. Little Yellow Button, Left of Center, Letta. Letta, they do so many, Letta is a hard one because there are some good pieces under the Letta name. It's been one of the first like brand names that they introduced way back in the day, and they're still using it today. So obviously the newer pieces are going to have a little bit stronger resale value, but it is just one of their like lower end lines. Most of the pieces don't have a really high like starting price. A lot of these pieces end up going in the like $9.99 sale on Anthropologie's website or in their stores, so they get marked down a lot, and the resale value just isn't very high. Floriat, they do a lot of like strapless blouses and skirts. Pinkerton, that was mostly like loungewear and like underwear and like bras and stuff like that. Rick Rack, We Love Vera. Now this is Vera Newman, so she's a very famous like scarf and print designer. And some of these We Love Vera pieces are really, really cute, but for some reason they're just like the low to medium, like you're looking at maybe $15 to $40 in sale price. So I would just research the specific item. But as a whole, that's not one of the like higher end brands. Then you've got, so now we're moving into like the low to medium. So for these brands, you're going to be looking at probably around $20 to about $40 in sale price. Obviously, there's going to be a little bit of, you know, exception. There's going to be outliers, there's going to be exceptions, things that are like more desirable. It's just up to you to research the piece that you have. But on the whole, these brands are going to bring a little bit more money than the brands that I just listed. So Cartonnier, Akemi and Ken, Tabitha, Weston Wear, Holding Horses, Sam and Lavi, Odile, Porridge, Lithe, Lilka, Edme and Izilt, Tiny, Bordeaux, Cloth and Stone, Charlotte Tarantola, Odd Molly, and Sol Angeles. So these are a lot of brands that you see people like super excited about when they take like cart pictures or when they take pictures, you know, on Instagram of brand labels. And honestly, they're looking at like, again, $20 to $40. It's not like mind blowing. So if someone finds, you know, a Cloth and Stone top, you know, maybe $25. It's not like, I see people get kind of worked up because they're not finding the good stuff. Well, sometimes the good stuff really is just honestly bread and butter. So these brands I've found, you know, they're nice to pick up. They're good filler for your closet. They're tasteful pieces, but they're not necessarily going to bring you the big bucks. So moving on to like the more medium price range. So these items, I feel like if it's from these brands, you're looking at a solid $20 to $40. I don't think you're going to have to sell below $20 unless you're like really trying to move this piece or it's damaged. Obviously damage kind of affects the sell value of any of these items. Field Flower. It's one of my favorite brands. Such cute and like whimsical prints and knitwear. Guinevere, Knitted and Knotted, HWR, so it's an H with a big W in the middle and a little R, that also known as monogram. Angel of the North, Sleeping on Snow. Some of these sweaters and this knitwear it like retailed for a lot of money, but only specific pieces are going to be able to command the above $40 price point. So it's gonna be just really like exceptional and unique pieces that there aren't a lot of listed online. I say the fewer that are listed on Poshmark, the better. If you're like the only person selling a size medium in this particular item, that's gold, because you can kind of set your own sort of price within reason. Moth, Girls from Savoy, HD in Paris, Idra. It also kind of looks like Sidra, but it's just Idra. Vanessa Virginia, Maple. Maple is a really old brand. They don't sell it anymore. And there's some very nice like dresses that they put out that can command usually around the $35-$40 mark. Charlie and Robin, again, an older brand. There's some very unique pieces that can command a little bit more. There's also some very basic pieces that are going to be closer to that $20 mark. Eva Franco. Some of her pieces can actually retail on the higher end, or resell on the higher end, like above $50, but it's very specific pieces, so the majority of her stuff for Anthropologie, I would say, would fall in the $20 to $40 range. Rosie Nira, she's a knitwear designer. She had some unique pieces. I'm not sure how to say this one. Coquille, I believe. Coquille. The label looks very weird. It doesn't say that. It's got some like lines and stuff. You'll just have to look that one up. Meadow Rue. That one again can kind of go on the lower end depending on how old the piece is or how basic the piece is. Maeve. Maeve is kind of like everyone's Anthropologie dress fave because they do go for usually $30 and above. There's definitely some Maeve dresses that can go for a lot more money. But I would say that you are just about guaranteed at least $30 to $40 for a Maeve dress, somewhere in there. Moulinette Source. Far Away from Close. Dolan. Portrait of a Girl, AG, which is the jeans, Adriana Goldschmied, Addison Story, and Ollie Hop. Ollie Hop used to do more like jackets and pants and stuff, but now they're definitely more, they've like rebranded it for swimwear. So if you find like an Ollie Hop swimsuit, that's an Anthropologie swimsuit. And most of those, when I was looking up comps, went for about $30 to $60. So depending on like the size and the condition and whether it's used or new, etc. So the next few brands are going to be medium to high. So some of these pieces you're going to be able to get around $40 for, and some of these pieces you're going to be able to get upwards of, $80. So it's, I think it's 1.11 Tylo, but I just put Tylo down. Featherbone, Tracy Reese, Viola, and Chloe Oliver. So, Viola, that's an older brand, but their stuff tended to be more expensive retail. And there's this one Viola dress that I've sold multiple times for $75. So you just kind of have to look at the particular piece, but in general, Viola didn't make a lot of like really basic stuff under the Viola name. So there were a lot of good pieces under that name. And then if you're looking at like higher value, you can look for Leaf's Daughter, which actually sells really well on ThreadUp. Corey Lynn Coulter, Etoile, Anna Sui, Troubadour, not all Troubadour, but especially a lot of their like very unique knits or things that have like animals on them. I know I have a fox skirt that I purchased. It was an online exclusive. This felted wool, you cannot find it online. No one has them listed on Poshmark. If I sold mine, I would probably ask for over $150, maybe closer to $200 for it. Latigo, that's mostly like a shoe brand. And there are a lot of shoe brands that I left out, but I had this one on my list for some reason. And Farm Rio. That is a very popular, like, newer brand. They do a lot of these, like, beautiful tiered maxi dresses. Those can go for, like, $150 or more, depending on the actual print of the dress. Some of them are more desirable than others, and, those do retain a nice resale value. Himmet and Nandita, and that one is an Indian brand, and they do a lot of, like, beading, super sheer, long, flowy. There's one dress, the Madeira maxi dress that I have. It was like $218 new or something like that. I got it for my birthday. That's a treat to myself. And that one has a really great resale value. So it's just, that's definitely a good brand to like look up if you find it in the store. And then there were a couple that were like variables. So 11C's. this brand has a lot of stuff that you literally can't sell for like $13-14 because it's just a basic pair of like pants. And then their coats do very well. So I would say usually at least $60 for a coat. Some of the coats, like the Karina coat, the Rockwell coat, there's just a couple of different coats, and those can go for $500 or so, like anywhere from $150 to $500 depending on the condition of the coat and which one it is. The Karina coat is definitely one of the most desirable Anthropologie pieces that you can pick up. Then there's Hey Hey. They have a lot of stuff that is just very basic, like joggers. They do a lot of pants and stuff like that. Crops and shorts, and then they also have like moto jackets. They have vegan jackets and leather jackets, and the jackets tend to do a lot better than any of the like pants or like bottoms. Leaf Notes is, so there's Leaf's Daughter, and then there's Leaf Notes right under that. That's like quality level. Leaf's Daughter pieces retail for a lot of money. Leaf Notes pieces were kind of in the mid to high range. And again, the resale value on those can be good, or you can find a piece that looks really cool. Like there's this dress that has hot air balloons all over it. It looks really cool. You'd think, oh, Leaf Notes, but it actually only resells for around like $30. So, and then Bailey 44. You can find like some of the Bailey 44 pieces that maybe you can sell for like 20 to 30. And then you can find some of the column dresses that are more recent, more desirable, and those can go for 80 to 100. It just really depends on the dress. Aside from those are like the basic brands. They've added so many more brands to their lists now. And really it's just about like desirable pieces and knowing what people are looking for. I do recommend going to Poshmark and sorting Anthropologie by highest sold, joining the Anthropologie buy sell trade groups on Facebook. If you want to learn more about what people are looking for, then definitely try to get into that like buying environment. Start to look at, one of the things I used to do is just in and then filter by sold, so you can see the things that sold quickly in the Anthropologie brand page. You can also do just in and then do all, and that way you can see how many listed versus how many are selling, because the sold ones will be mixed in the order that they were listed. And yeah, aside from that, you can check Anthro. If you look for the hashtag AnthroFave, a lot of those are going to be ones that are more desirable pieces. Some of them are going to be relatively common, but a lot of them are going to be older or harder to find or more unique. And because I'm sort of like a part of that group that loves Anthropologie and following it for a really long time, you know, I just know some of the particular pieces that are going to bring me a good amount of money. So when I see them, I know that I can pay up for them, or I know that, you know, I'm going to be able to get a good return on my investment. It's not going to sit for a really long time. And yeah, so some of those would be like this top. I specifically wore this top so that I could show you. I got this on Poshmark. I searched for this top for about 4 years before I found it. It is silk. It's by Melinette Soares. It's got it's called the Amanita top, and it's got, you know, beading on the mushrooms. This one is in perfect condition. I think I paid around $50 for it, and I probably would have paid more than that because I've been looking for it for so long. It was in my size and it was in great condition. So just knowing what you have is going to be a really important element to selling Anthropologie really well. So the more you know about the brand, the more you know about what people want and the desirable pieces, the better off you're going to be. Make sure you do put the item name in there if you can find it. And that's going to help people like me who might search for the specific item name and see if it comes up. Yeah, so again, I will put this list down in the comments below. It's not comprehensive, but this is going to be a lot of what's most common to find. A lot of the collaborations, things like Byron Lars, Peter Somm, those are going to be like much better finds. You're going to be able to sell them for over $100. So yeah, it's really just best to get to know your Anthropologie and not just like shoot from the hip and go for it blindly. And then you can have better Anthropologie sales throughout the year, and you can be one of those people who says, Anthropologie sells really well for me. Yeah, so if you like this video, if you like this kind of video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. I do try and do educational content on this channel. And I could also do a video like this for ModCloth, if anyone is interested in that. I do know a lot about ModCloth. I'm in that subculture, and there are definitely pieces within ModCloth that sell for more and pieces that don't sell for as much. You know, I hear like, oh, it was my most liked item in my closet, but it took forever to sell. Well, there are some pieces that are more desirable than others. Yeah, so if any of that interests you or you have any questions, go ahead and drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you thought of this video. You can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate that. And if you want to be notified when I get new videos, go ahead and hit the bell button. My next video is going to be a swap with common tags. So I will see you next Thursday for that swap. And yeah, bye. Thanks so much for watching.